What's up guys, Dan here, and in this video today I'm going to explain to you exactly how I turn $500 into over $35,000 a month with Shopify dropshipping. I'm actually traveling in Florida right now, so this is the best place I found to record this video, but just been literally traveling for the past like 6 months, and that's one of the best things that online business has allowed me to do, while also being able to create these videos for you guys to wake people up to the massive opportunities that exist today with online business and with e-commerce. So I'm going to explain to you guys every single thing from the very beginning, how I started with Shopify, my background, a little bit about me if you don't know, if you're new to my channel. So what I do is Shopify dropshipping, and I also do Ecom private labeling. So those are the two strategies that I've used, the two types of business models that I use to get to $35,000 a month with this Shopify store. So let's start with, what do I do? And what is Shopify dropshipping? Now, if you're not new to the channel, you know what Shopify dropshipping is, but I'll explain very briefly. Shopify dropshipping is pretty much a business model that allows you to use Shopify, which is the best tool to use to install onto your website to create a store. So you just use Shopify, which is a tool that allows you to create a store, pretty much drag and drop, super easy. And dropshipping, what that is the classic business model of selling products is you have to find a supplier in China or wherever, it doesn't matter, and then you go and you have to buy in bulk. So you're gonna have to go and spend $10,000, $100,000 on product inventory just to be able to sell it, right? Because you have to spend the money to buy the inventory first from your supplier, and then you sell it for 2 times the price or 3 times the price, and then you pocket the profit. Well, there's a lot of risks with that because you obviously have to put up the money up front for the inventory. Now, there is a specific case where investing into inventory is actually a good thing, and one of the most powerful online business models today next to Shopify is selling on Amazon, and that's also what I do. And a little bit about me, in my background here, I started online business at the age of 21 because I was absolutely committed to finding freedom in my life, and I had started by always wanting to become an entrepreneur, but coming from I would say lower to middle class family, I really didn't have any connections, I didn't have any knowledge of how to actually start. So I started by quitting my job, I used to work at the bank, and then I started by dropping out of school, I started cleaning windows because I knew that that was cash flow that I could use in order to funnel into my online business at the time. And I was $40,000 in college debt, but I knew that I would never find freedom in my life, and I would never be able to live my life to the fullest if I did not start a scalable passive income business. Right? And at the time, I didn't know if that was even possible. And so looking back, it's crazy how fast your life can change if you're willing to do what has made other people successful, like insanely successful. And not only one person, but millions of people, tens of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people around the world. So I became very successful with selling on Amazon FBA. That was my first online business success. And that was a massive success. Like, I was making multiple six figures a year, and I never thought I would make that money in my entire life, let alone at age 21. And so shortly after that, I decided to start my YouTube channel, and now this is what I do. I've created this massive movement of people around the world who are fighting to get freedom in their lives, who want to become entrepreneurs. And since then, I've changed the lives of thousands, tens of thousands of people. I have a ton of successful student interviews with Amazon FBA through the Ecom Freedom X course, which is totally separate to this. But I've since grown to multiple 7 figures a year with all my online businesses combined. I'm currently writing a book to wake people up around the world to the massive opportunities with entrepreneurship and online business today in the time of the most abundance and prosperity that ever existed on planet Earth. All right, today, as I make this video, and I'm going to explain to you with Shopify dropshipping how I turned $500 into $35,000 a month. And I didn't realize this before, but we are living in the time of the most abundance and prosperity that ever existed on planet Earth. All right, so that's what I do. And so I started with Amazon, and then I started my YouTube, and then later on I actually started my Shopify because for me it was easy. I was already familiar with e-commerce. However, I'm explaining this as if you are completely new, just to explain everything fully transparently for you guys here. So you're probably just browsing YouTube and you're looking for a way to find freedom in your life and to make more money and to quit the 9-to-5 job. So briefly, what Shopify dropshipping is instead of having to go and buy in bulk, you can go and you can create a website, install Shopify on it, as I've done with my store here, and then you can go and you start running Facebook ads and things like that just to get some customers. And then when a customer goes and pays you into your PayPal, into your bank account, then only after that you take the money and then you pay your supplier, and then your supplier ships an individual unit directly to your customer without having to go through you. So it's completely passive, and it's literally like one of the 2 best passive income businesses that are available today to start, which is next to Amazon FBA. These are 2 of the most powerful e-commerce business opportunities. So Ecom private labeling, what that is it sounds kind of fancy, but all it is essentially what I've done with this store is once I started making over $30,000 a month, then I actually got a fulfillment center in the United States, and I also have one in Europe because it's an international store. And that allows me to actually ship in 3 to 5 days to the US instead of having to have the customer wait a couple weeks to get the order, because that's how long it takes with ePacket from China. That's the mailing agreement that exists between the USA and China. So what I've done is I actually do a mix of drop shipping and then private labeling. So I invest $30,000, $50,000 into inventory. But by the way, that's not at the beginning. At the beginning, I was drop shipping with only $500. And then later on, I went ahead and started actually private labeling, which means I put my logo on the product, and then I actually created a box design and all that kind of stuff. So I actually created a brand. And so let's go ahead and begin. And you don't have to private label your product. You can actually just drop ship. You can get to $35,000 a month with just drop shipping. You can get to $50,000 and $100,000 a month with just drop shipping. But it's a way that I found where I can actually go and I can have both. I can drop ship and I can also offer 3 to 5 day shipping to my customers. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. I started with $500 in November 2018. And by the way, I was already very successful when I started this. But like I said, this right here, I could have done with only $500 with zero business experience, nothing. All right. So that's how I'm explaining it to you guys here. Now, this is a screenshot. This was yesterday, I believe. Actually, this is today. Here you go. This is the screenshot. And I'm actually going to open my store real quick. So this is what my store looks like today, over $2,000, $59, and we are at 4:36 p.m., so $2,059, my bad. And then if we go to yesterday, as you can see, 2,006.07. So that's pretty much how the store has been doing. But actually, after this video, tomorrow, I'm planning on hitting 5,000 and 10,000 because I'm just going to scale the Facebook ads like crazy and the whole strategy. So what I did at the beginning was I had $500 and I decided to start with only $500 because I wanted to prove a point that anybody can start. And this is actually less money than you would have to invest into a product order that you'd have to do with Amazon. For Amazon, you would need about $1,000 and then you're set. So I started doing product and niche research, and then what I found was that the best way to do it was to literally just go and look at stores that are successful and think about products and think about ways where you can brand it in a more premium way. And so that's exactly what I did. And I was browsing through Facebook, I was literally scrolling through my phone on Instagram, and I was looking at stores, I was looking at the ads that I was getting targeted by, and I was writing down every single store, every single ad, and I kept clicking on the ads just to see the store. And obviously, like most of the products that are being advertised nowadays, they're running on Shopify stores. And so that's what I did. And one of the most important business lessons that I've learned was to never reinvent the wheel. Never reinvent the wheel. And what I mean by that is look at products and look at niches that there's already money being made. There's already websites, there's already Shopify stores that are killing it in there. All you have to do is go in there, emulate the strategy, look at the product, and then improve on it. Make it better. It's very important to make it better. All right, do not copy. It's actually one of the mistakes that I did. We're going to get to the mistakes at the bottom here, but it's very important to not copy. All right, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You don't want to try a completely new product idea, completely new store that you've never seen before. That way, you don't know what to advertise. You don't know what ads work and things like that. But you also don't want to copy directly. So as I was going through my phone and as I was looking through Facebook ads, I found a store that I knew was for sure doing over $50,000 a month, actually more like $75,000 to $100,000 a month, because what I did was I checked the store's traffic on myip.ms and tools like Alexa and SimilarWeb. Now, what Alexa and SimilarWeb is here, I'll show you really quick. Alexa is a site analyzing tool, and that allows you to, I think it's called site ranking. There you go. As you can see, I searched it before. And so you can put any site in there, and it'll show you the customer traffic that it's getting. And the same thing with SimilarWeb. And it also shows you a bunch of other amazing things for Shopify, that you can use for Shopify, like where the ads are coming from. Is it Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest? So all these tools I used to find out that the store was making a killing. So now let's talk about budget. All right. And by the way, I usually don't like to show off how much the store is making or anything like that. This is not hard for me. This shouldn't be hard for you, especially once you've had a year or 2 years of experience in e-commerce. Right now, like I said, this is the time of the most prosperity that has ever existed on planet Earth. So if you're willing to accept that, then these numbers are easy. This is easy. All right. Unless you live in a country where you don't have any internet and it's like extreme poverty or something like that. Well, then get out of that country first, and then it's going to be easy for you. All right. So as you can tell, I'm very passionate about this. I want to, wake people up because I don't know. I'm not special. When you can literally go on my channel. You can see that my oldest videos, I was cleaning windows. All right. So there you go. So my budget is Shopify 14-day free trial. So that's what I started with. There's a 14-day free trial for the basic plan, $29. That's how much I actually paid for the first month after the 14 days. And so then I spent $300 on Facebook ads and Instagram story ads. Actually, rather, I allocated $300 for Facebook ads and Instagram story ads. And then I also spent the rest on getting pictures and videos and Instagram stories that I could promote using ads. And so as you can see, the main budget that you're going to have to allocate with your Shopify budget is like Facebook ads. So you're going to have to spend your money on Facebook ads at the beginning, and you're going to have to allocate a couple $100s at least to test out Facebook ads, to test out interest and things like that. Now, Facebook ads, that's a phenomenal skill to learn because that will serve you for the rest of your life. I've always said this, but basically Facebook ads, you learn how to put in $1 and take out $2. You basically got a money printing machine. That's what dropshipping is, right? Once you learn how to do this properly, and once you've failed enough times, then you'll actually get to that point. And so anybody can do it, like I said. So $170 on influencers and then local models that I used for my product. And that was part of my promotion strategy. I already knew that I was gonna create some awesome content, some awesome Instagram story ads, 15 seconds long, just with my phone. And then I would promote that using Facebook ads. So very important to make the ads look really good, to make the ad content like amazing just within itself. Now the product itself, let's talk about that for a bit. So the first product, it wasn't like every other dropshipping product that you see out there. This was something that had the wow factor. And what the wow factor is it's such a great product that doesn't exist in the United States or Canada or anywhere in the Western world actually. And so every single time I advertise it, people are like, wow, I'm buying that right now. And especially if everything else is awesome, the website looks great. And I also came at the premium angle. So as you can see, there was a lot of different things that had to be in place for this to be right. And so I made sure that all those things were in place. And so this made it very easy to create profitable ads and to promote it because the product already had a wow factor. I could have recorded a bad ad and people still would have bought because it had the wow factor. And so that was the first product that I decided to do this store with. Now, I also sold related products, but most of my sales on the Shopify store came from this one product. So it was about 80-20, 90-10. So 90% of the sales came from this one product, and then the rest of the sales came from a few other products that were related. Now, let's talk about how I found my supplier. And I used AliExpress.com and Alibaba.com. Most people tell you to use only AliExpress.com, but you can actually find dropshipping suppliers on Alibaba.com because think about it, the same suppliers that are on Alibaba.com, you can also have them dropship, right? Alibaba.com, for those of you that don't know, that's if you want to buy in bulk. So if you want to buy 1,000 pieces, and that would be better for something like Amazon where you have to buy in bulk. AliExpress is where you can dropship and you can have them directly send it to your customer. And so you use like a plugin like Oberlo and things like that. So what I did was I knew that I could find a supplier both on AliExpress and Alibaba. All I had to do was send out my supplier template. And this is a special supplier template that I've made. And this has actually found me amazing suppliers and an amazing supplier for this store in particular. So the link for this is right down below. You guys can go and grab the supplier template. It's completely free. And I actually put it out there so you guys can go and find a great supplier. And what I did was I contacted 5 suppliers manually using the supplier template through Contact Supplier. Right, there's a button there on both websites saying Contact Supplier. And then what I did was I compared the prices between the suppliers and I talked to my supplier that I chose on WhatsApp and on WeChat. WeChat is the Chinese version of WhatsApp, and so sometimes that works better. Now, let's talk about the product costs. And by the way, I negotiated the cost down as well. Remember, with the Chinese suppliers, you can always negotiate the price down. All right, so whatever they say first, doesn't matter if it's a drop shipping price or a bulk order, you have to make sure that you're negotiating the price down, even if it's drop shipping. All right. Some costs you can't negotiate down, like ePacket. ePacket is the faster shipping that's available from China to the United States and around the world, Australia, UK, Canada, and Europe. And you can't negotiate that because that's just how much it costs. And then it's gotten a little bit more expensive with like Trump and all that, and he's trying to cut ePacket. So I don't think there's gonna be an effect in the long run at all. But there you go. And so you can't negotiate ePacket, but you can negotiate the price for the product itself. Now let's talk about my product costs. 1 unit of my main product that contributes to this, mostly to this $35,000 a month, is $15.90, including ePacket, to the USA. Now you might think, whoa, Dan, $15.90 just to buy 1 unit of the product, that's insane. Well, think about it. I'm drop shipping, so I don't have to pay the supplier $16 first. I only pay the $16 after I receive money from my customer. And in this case, I sold my product for $50, so $49.99, and I also charge shipping. So shipping is another great way to even increase your income even more. And I made a ton of money just in shipping from this one store because people are willing to pay shipping if the product and the brand and everything like that is great. And so as you can see, I was selling for $50 plus $9.99 for shipping. that left me between $34 and $44 for Facebook ads. And then I also had upsells of each additional unit. So I had upsells, so pretty much if they bought 2, then they get like a discount, so 10% off. If they bought 3, they get 15% off. And there's also a lot of other things that I did behind the scenes there as well. Now guys, what I mean by $34 left for Facebook ads, that means that, so if I'm selling it for $50 or $60, including shipping, then if my cost of goods, which means how much I'm paying my supplier for the product, is between $16 and $18, that means that the rest of the money is my profit margin minus the Facebook ads. So what that means is that, let's say it costs me $8 or $5 to acquire a customer using Facebook ads. That's actually roughly how much it cost me. I actually had a lot of ads that were converting at like $1 per purchase as well. And so that's just because, like I said, the product had the wow factor and the ad content itself was really, really great. Like I'm really good at doing that. I'm really good at marketing. I've studied consumer behavior. I've read a lot of books on that, which I'll talk about as well here. But that's how it works. And so if we say $44 or $34 minus $10, let's say if it costs us Facebook ads, well then our profit is between $25 and $35 per unit. And that's per unit, right? That's more than we're even paying the supplier. So as you can see, it becomes very easy to make a lot of money. So now 1 unit of a secondary product, which was about 20 to 10% of my sales on the store, that costs $4.50, including e-packet to the USA, and then $5.60, including e-packet to everywhere else, UK, Australia, Canada. Most of your sales on Shopify will come from UK, USA, Canada, and Australia. However, international markets are really great as well right now. In this store, I'm also targeting Europe, so that's working really well. Now, the second product I'm selling for $20 plus $4.99 for shipping with upsells, like I talked about, of each additional unit. The point of Shopify is, and this is what works, guys, I found that you want to try to increase your average cart value the most that you can. My average cart value on the store is about $60, so that's very high. And you want it to be above $50, and so you want to incentivize people to buy more than one before they leave your store. So that's an amazing way for you to increase your profit. So now instead of, let's say you're spending $5 just to get one customer on Facebook, well now you can spend $5 and you can get one customer to buy 3 or 4 and then make $50, $100 in profit from one customer only putting $5 into Facebook ads. Now let's talk about how I differentiated myself and how I made myself the best in the whole niche. So I created a beautiful website with pics and videos from the local models and influencers that I paid. And so I also did influencer marketing. So once I started making profit, I started looking for influencers that were interested in promoting my product that had great engagement, which means, if the influencer has 100,000 followers, and they obviously, if they have an active fan base, you want to make sure that the fan base is real. So you want to make sure that they're always active. You want to make sure that the pictures have a lot of likes. It's the picture doesn't have 100 likes and they've got like 100,000 followers. It doesn't make any sense. So that was something that I did as well, and that really increased my sales. And that's something that I'm doing now to get to $100,000 a month with this store. And I also got samples from my competitors, and I always recommend order from your competitors because then you'll be able to see how they're doing things, and if they're making money, even better. You can go emulate their strategy, improve on their box design, logo, all that kind of stuff, and really just kill it and make a lot more money than them. And I also use consumer psychology principles I learned. I love studying consumer psychology. I am always reading books. So I use that to get a lot more sales than I would have otherwise. And one of my favorite books is Influence by Robert Cialdini. And so I hope I pronounced that correctly. But in Influence, I highly recommend anybody who's getting into e-commerce or selling anything online especially to read this, because you want to use things like scarcity. You want to use things like basic, they're called cognitive biases. So every single human, if there is, like, why is gold so valuable? Gold is so valuable because it's so rare. There's only so little of it in the world, or maybe there's a lot of it, but we've only been able to mine so little of it, right? So that's why it's valuable, but it's a perceived value. Even though there's a lot of it in the earth, right? We perceive it as valuable because it's hard for us to, it's hard for me right now to just go and get gold, right? If it was easy, then obviously it would be very cheap. So that's called scarcity, and that's why gold is valuable. Now, that's just one cognitive bias that you can learn, and scarcity is something that you can use in your Shopify store with something like Herify, which is an app. There's a lot of apps that you can use scarcity to get a lot more sales. Now, my Facebook ad strategy, let's talk about that for a second. So I targeted for conversions. There's a lot of different ways to target Facebook ads for Shopify, but I targeted for conversions. You always want to target for conversions on the relevant interests on Facebook, that interests that are relevant to your product. So what I always do is I always think of the client avatar. This is a common marketing term. What a client avatar is essentially you're thinking about, okay, like I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna be my ideal customer who would buy this. What things would I be interested in? What are my hobbies? You wanna dissect and you wanna really write out exactly who that person is. And that way you know exactly what's the target on Facebook in order to get really profitable ads. Now, I also launched Instagram story ads. You do that through Facebook ads as well. You can do the same thing, target interest, because Instagram is owned by Facebook. And then in the Instagram story ads, you want to make sure that you have a call to action, like swipe up to buy. So that's what I did. And now I also had a phenomenal retargeting strategy. I've actually, by the way, I got to this number without any retargeting. So right now, tonight, it's 5 o'clock, but tomorrow I have to go to the beach here in Florida. So tonight I have to go and just really put this retargeting and get this all going, scale this up to 5-10K a day, because there's a lot for me to do on the retargeting side. But what you build up with the Shopify store, and this is another amazing thing, is called a pixel. What a pixel is it's something that's actually by Facebook. They created this. And every single time someone goes on your website, on your Shopify store from Facebook, the pixel gets built up. And there's actually AI and machine learning involved. And Facebook gets smarter and smarter. And through your pixel, you're able to go and take that after you've had a certain amount of actions. It's called actions on your Shopify store, and the number is 100. So after you had 100 actions, so add to carts or 100 purchases or things like that, then you can go into your pixel and you can start retargeting people, and you can start running lookalike audiences as well. And that's a whole other ball game. Like that's, for a separate video. I've got some Facebook ads videos on this channel that are awesome as well. But there's pretty much what I'm saying is that for me to get to 100,000 a month, I can easily do that with just retargeting right here using the pixel. And so I also have done some retargeting with free shipping and discount coupons. So if somebody abandoned the cart, they would get an email saying, hey, here's a free shipping coupon. And so that works incredibly well. So that's what I did. I sent that out about one day after. Now let's talk about some of the mistakes that I made. And even though I'm experienced with online business personally, obviously you make mistakes, that's how you learn. The first mistake that I made was I copied my main competitor too much. And then I later realized my main competitor was making a lot less money than me. And so that's what I realized was like, okay, because there were a lot of things that didn't make any sense to what they were doing. And then I realized that they weren't even doing this seriously. Like this Shopify store that they were doing, it wasn't their main priority, or they forgot about it. So I really just went like 0 to 100, and I went and I really improved my own store. I set myself apart, and now I'm the leading. Like my store is the best store in the industry, in the niche. So do not copy your main competitor too much. Model, don't copy, do your own work. All right, you want to perform like real entrepreneurship, and part of being an entrepreneur is actually adding value to the market. That's how you get paid. You don't get paid for just, giving value that's not over what already exists in the market. Now, another mistake that I made, and this is a pretty dumb mistake because I've been in the Amazon FBA game for a while now too, is not planning for Chinese New Year with dropshipping. I planned it out for it with Amazon back in Q4. I ordered a ton of units for my existing products, but for Shopify, I totally forgot for some reason. And so thankfully, I've got units left in my warehouse. Remember, because I said I was private labeling, right? So now I'm at the point where I'm private labeling. I know the products are selling. Once you know that your products are selling, that you've dropshipped, there is no risk. You can go and order in bulk, and that way you can offer faster shipping through a fulfillment service. But this is a mistake that a lot of beginner entrepreneurs make with online business, not accounting for things like Chinese New Year and holidays, Chinese holidays, right? If you're working with Chinese suppliers and eCommerce. But it's no problem. Chinese New Year is done about in a week. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to do, I'm drop shipping anyway, so I can just go and drop ship all the units that are missing. So that's no problem. And now I also targeted interest at the beginning with my Facebook ads that weren't relevant enough and were too expensive to target. And so that's because I didn't actually think about my client avatar. I didn't think about the ideal client, like my ideal customer, what they would be interested in and who they actually are. And once I really dug into that, that's when I knew, okay, I had to target this on Facebook, and then it started killing it. I was getting purchases for like $4, $5, $6, even 97 cents. So there you go. That is exactly how I turned $500 into $35,000 a month with Shopify dropshipping. Now, it's a phenomenal business model. It's amazing. And like I said, I hope you guys found a lot of value in this video. And I can guarantee you, and I've always said this, if you commit today to really just, absolutely killing it and setting a goal with Shopify, getting from $0 to $10,000 a month within the next couple months, you will do it. Of course, you will fail, right? Failure is a part of entrepreneurship, but if all you've got is time, if you've just got a ton of time, you don't have much money, well then you have time to fail. And so the faster you get through the failures, the faster you'll find that winning store, your winning product. And then once you actually get to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, you get that freedom in your life. Now you're going to become confident within yourself. You'll be able to just print these Shopify stores wherever you go in the world. And it's all part of the self-improvement game. Also, I read a lot of books. Like, I literally am the living embodiment of like entrepreneurship. Every single day I read books. I'm always trying to get better because I'm not arrogant enough to assume that I know everything. I don't. But, hopefully through my experience, you guys found this valuable. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you did. Leave a comment, leave a like, and tell me what you guys think. Also follow me on social media and Snapchat. The links are somewhere here. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.